Hi, my name is Mitchell, and I'm applying to be an elementary educator with an endorsement in middle school science. So, let me tell you a little bit about what I learned about being a teacher these last couple months. So, firstly, let's talk about why I want to become a teacher. So, I realize it's important to be a great role model, and I feel like I can really show what it is to be a good role model for these students. Students need somebody to look up to, someone to inspire them. This is very important, inspiration. We need to be able to inspire students to want to learn, to want to figure out why it is they're doing what they're doing. I mean, we can teach them to regurgitate things, say things over and over and over, and just figure out the right answers, but does that really mean anything if they don't know why they're doing that? We need to inspire them to find interest, inspire them to be themselves. I have a story about an inspirator of mine. So, over the summer I worked at Caribou Coffee, right in White Bear, and one day I was working and I ran into my first grade teacher, which I would never expect to run into her again, and it was just insane. She asked me if I went to Otter Lake Elementary at one point, and I said I did. My first grade teacher. I'm 20 years old, and she remembered me from that long ago. That's inspirational. Someone's able to remember something like that. Someone's able to care about that and talk to. That really inspired me to become a teacher. One of the many inspirationals. So something that I thought was kind of funny about this was I was actually a huge troublemaker in her class and all throughout elementary school. Though I was a huge troublemaker, I think it might give me a little edge because when I see students who are struggling, who are causing trouble, I know what it's like. I've been there myself, so I can teach these students. I can be patient with these students and help them to get past whatever they're struggling with. Also, I want to talk about middle school a little bit. Middle school science, at least. So I love science. Science is a passion of mine, for sure. And just learning how things work and why they work the way they do. Funny thing about how I was inspired to start looking into science more is my middle school science teacher, but she didn't like me. She didn't like me at all, and she made that very clear, which isn't a good attribute of a teacher, but I learned a ton from her. I learned more from her than any other teacher I can probably remember. I mean, I could go outside and I could name all the clouds in the sky right now: nimbus, stratus, cumulus, cirrus. I could tell you how to plant something. I could tell you how to make maple syrup. I could tell you how to tap a tree. I mean, the things I learned, I remember all that. And I think that's because she taught me why things work the way they did. She taught me how to apply that to what's outside. That's important. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what I learned. So regurgitation is not learning. Not at all. So you can say the right answer as many times as you want. You can get an A on the test. But you are not learning if you don't know why that's the right answer. You need to know why. So, I mean, think about it. If you learned how to fix a car, well, you knew the right answers, you know what to do, but you didn't actually know why you were doing what you're doing. Maybe you'd be able to fix some cars, but what happens when something goes wrong? Something doesn't work. You don't know why it's not working. You only know what the right answer is, so how are you going to fix the problem? You won't know what to do. It is essential. It is essential that we teach these students why they are doing what they're doing, not what the right answer is. Being an educator is mainly about two things from what I've noticed from all the research I've done, the projects I've done. The first is invoking interest in learning. As an educator, we can only do so much to teach students. If they have no interest in what we're teaching them, they won't learn. They won't retain this information. We need to find ways in which we can spike interest in these students to make them want to learn about it. And I think this really has to do with being creative, having creative projects, making students kind of think outside the box, not just spitting out an answer. And honestly, another the second main thing is we need to be good people. We need to show them what it is to be a good person. This is something that can apply to the rest of their life. It will apply to the rest of their life. So it's something we should really be showing our kids how to do. I mean, a student can learn something, can see you do something, and learn more from your action than 3-5 hours of lecture. It's important that we show what we want the kids to be learning in ourselves. Lastly, I want to talk about fairness a little bit. Fairness is not about everyone getting the same thing, but it's actually about everyone getting what they need, exactly what they need. I have a little story about this. I was actually a camp counselor at a theater company, Ashland Productions in Maplewood, and I was looking around and I noticed one of the kids was struggling with the singing. She couldn't seem to do it. So I sat by her and I started talking to her, and I found out she couldn't read. The rest of the students, or the children, could. She couldn't read. So I sat by her and I sang. She listened and she learned that way. I think that maybe others children didn't think that would be fair, but that's the way she could learn. That's the way she figured it out. And I'm really happy that she figured it out. I'm really happy it all worked out for her. That's what it means to be fair, for everyone to get what they need, and for it to work out in the end. Just a little bit about how this is going to apply to my future, how I'm going to use this material. Well, talking about what I talked about, I need to be exemplary for the teachers, or for the students. I need to show them what it means to be a good to be a good student, to be interested, to be learning, to want to learn, but also to show creativity, to be creative with the students, to have them doing things that they maybe wouldn't normally do, things that could apply to life, what they're doing at home. Tie that together. You don't want school to be a place where people don't want to be, where it's just uncomfortable. You want it to feel like a home, somewhere where they can learn about what they want to learn about, where they can be inspired, where they can develop hobbies. Students are very impressionable at these young ages, and it is important that we, as educators, can show them what it means to be a good person, and what it means to want to learn. Thank you.